can turn the world on with a smile. You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's your girl and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, don't need to fake it. You can never down, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Jodie Emery Show. Today is Thursday, November 3rd, and as of today, Marc has 978 days left in his prison sentence until his early release date of July 9th, 2014. You can watch the daily countdown at freemarc.ca, along with, of course, all of the videos and blogs and updates about him that we post there. And Marc has just written a blog. I posted it at cannabisculture.com and freemarc.ca, and it's about the White House petitions. The response to the legalization petition came from the drug czar, and it was grouped together as a response to all the marijuana-related petitions, basically saying that the government thinks that marijuana is bad for you, so it's going to stay illegal, okay? So they just gave a big finger to all the American people who signed all those petitions. They're ignoring science and everything that backs up our side of the argument. So you can read Marc's excellent blog about it. He does a great piece. You really ought to read it at freemarc.ca and cannabisculture.com. Marc has been keeping busy still with his music. I haven't seen him for longer than usual. I'm going down this weekend to visit him, and I'll be able to tell him all about all the great news happening, and some good news, some bad news, but definitely a lot keeping us on our toes. The petition for Marc's pardon is still awaiting a response. We did reach the threshold. We got 5,000 signatures in under the limit for when they changed it. And I believe it's at 8,000 signatures as of today. So you can go to freemarc.ca and sign the petition if you haven't already, because we do expect some sort of response at some point. We got 7,500 signatures in 30 days. So the Obama White House will answer whether or not they'll pardon Marc Emery. So Marc and I, of course, are waiting for that, and we'll be letting everybody know as soon as we do get a response. In the United States, of course, as always, there's a lot happening. One thing that I found very interesting and timely is that the U.S. Sentencing Commission has determined, after a big 600-plus page study report, that mandatory minimums do not work and are a failed policy, and that there are other ways to better deal with crime. So this comes out from the U.S. federal government, just as the Canadian federal government is debating and discussing and pushing through Bill C-10, which introduces for the first time mandatory minimum prison sentences for drug crimes or for marijuana people. So Canada's Conservative government under Harper, we're seeing some very scary stuff with these guys, but it is being debated in Parliament, and we have some great news. Provinces, although we don't have the same rights as states' rights, we do have provincial governments that are able to protect their province and their budget and their concerns. And thankfully, we have two of the biggest provinces in the country, Ontario and Quebec, both telling the federal government that they will not take the costs associated with this crime bill, because most provinces are going to have to somehow find billions of dollars to deal with the thousands of prisoners who will be entering facilities all across the country. And they're saying to the federal government, this is a bad decision, bad timing, very costly, and doesn't make any sense, because all the witnesses in the committees and presenting at Parliament have said it's not a good idea. But we have some provinces, unfortunately, who are for it because they see economic incentive. You know, they see the dollars being offered, and they don't think of it as being debt. They just think of it as the invisible big bucket of money that everybody can draw from. And so they're just asking the federal government for billions of dollars to pay for these laws. And those provinces include Saskatchewan and New Brunswick, and unfortunately even here in BC. Christy Clark is the Liberal leader. She's the premier of this province. She wasn't elected. She fell into the position. She used to be somewhat rational. Now she's sucking up to the Conservatives and the police unions and the prison industry, and she's backing this horrible bill because she knows it's going to put thousands of British Columbians behind bars for the big bucks for some lucky people who will be getting the private prison contracts and working in these facilities. It's immoral and it's unjust, And in Newfoundland, they actually said no to the bill too. So we've got 3 provinces saying, no, we're not going to go with this. 3 provinces so far saying that they will go for it. And the rest of them, well, maybe you can help have an impact and change their mind. So go and find Google, very easy, go to Google and type in how to contact my member of parliament or how to contact my provincial rep or any sort of question like that. It's really simple to find. It takes so little time. And you can write to your representative or to the Solicitor General of your province, which would be even better, and contact them and tell them that they shouldn't approve of this bill and they shouldn't accept the costs that will come with it. Not only the financial costs, but the human cost that's coming with it too. I did an interview on Radio NL in my hometown of Kamloops about this bill, but also about a raid in Compassion Club there. I didn't really even know Kamloops had an open Compassion Club. That was wonderful news to me. But unfortunately, the RCMP, our federal police force, shut them down just as they've shut down many others. So we send out all of our support to Carl and everybody in Kamloops who have been affected by this. It's a tragedy that there are medical marijuana users who now don't have safe access, which they once did before. And hopefully they'll win their case along with other people who are facing the court system because of their work to provide medical marijuana to so many people. And that includes many that we know, Randy Kane in Langley, Brittany and her friends in Burnaby, and others who have been arrested or raided or busted and shut down. So we wish all the best to everybody out there still standing tall, still doing what's right, even under the risk that comes with it. We need brave people like that. And on that note, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you're restricted, if you have a family and a job and a house and you can't really speak out on the streets, you can always find a way to take action. Call up your local radio station and tell them, listen, you need some content on this bill. I'd be happy to talk about it, or can I leave a comment? Write to your newspaper, do the same thing. Pick up a newspaper, it's really simple. It tells you the email address at the bottom and just type out a few words and let them know how you feel. You never know which letters they're going to print, and if nobody else writes in, they might just run yours and you'll have your message seen by so many people. And definitely get together and get your friends and try and discuss how to get our message out there more. It's beyond just going to the streets with signs and making phone calls. It involves going and finding out which political party you'd be interested in supporting in exchange for them adopting your ideas. And that's the best way to do it, is get people in the political field to adopt your ideas and hopefully push them forward where the laws all happen. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween. We had a great party here. We missed Marc, of course, but everyone wanted to celebrate our friendship, our community, and I had a wonderful time decorating with our coworkers here at Cannabis Culture, and I'll have Marijuana Man show you some video footage of that. And of course, we love to write Marc letters and keep his spirits up, because it is really hard for him, especially in this season, to go into all the holiday time, being so far away. And I'm deeply grateful to all of those who support Marc and I in allowing me to visit him, because that really keeps us both strong. That keeps this place going, and I hope that keeps other people feeling inspired too. I appreciate all your letters of support for me and Marc, and keep up to date at cannabisculture.com as always, and freemarc.ca, where you can find Marc's address and send him a little supportive holiday message. Thanks a lot, everybody, and free Marc Emery.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an easy sight. For my monster from the slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
We did the mash,
they did the monster mash.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard
We
smash.
did the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
they did the mash.
They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking and all were digging the sounds. Eagle on chains backed by his baying hounds. The coffin beggars were about to arrive with a vocal group, the Crypt Kickers 5. They did my monster mash. That was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash.
Yeah. That's for Uncle Mark and that's for Uncle Mark.